Now, Effective Communication with Phil Zeller, CEO, Dale Carnegie, Southwest Michigan.
If you could have stronger relationships, would you want to know how? A real simple way to do it? How do you communicate to build those stronger relationships? Well, let me share a story with you first and foremost here today. Thanks for being with us. It's an honor you're here with us. My name's Phil Zeller. I'm going to share with you a piece from Dale Carnegie from How to Win Friends. And actually, I'm going to share today from How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. A great story from Dr. Henry Emerson Fosdick. So check this out. Listen up. Good story here coming your way right now. On the slopes of Long Peak in Colorado lies the ruin of a gigantic tree. Naturalists tell us that it stood there for some 400 years. It was a seedling when Columbus landed on San Salvador and half grown when the Pilgrims settled in Plymouth in the United States, which it became. During the course of its long life, it was struck by lightning 14 times. And the innumerable avalanches and the storms of 4 centuries thundered past it. It survived them all. In the end, however, an army of beetles attacked the tree and leveled it to the ground. The insects ate their way through the bark and gradually destroyed the inner strength of the tree by their tiny but incessant attacks. A forest giant, which had not only weathered lightning, blast, storms, fell at last before the beetles, so small that a man could crush them between his fingernail and his thumb. Wow, the story of the gigantic tree that had seen it for 400 years. Sometimes you feel like that tree, don't you? You go through all these challenges in life, and it's like, boom, you're hit again, boom, knocked down again, boom, knocked, and you got to dust yourself and get back up. And this happens to all of us. It happens to you. It happens to me. Welcome to being a human being. We get knocked down. But the amazing thing about it is when the big things hit us, i.e. like the tree, the lightning 14 times, the avalanches, we seem to be able to face those things down. We go at them. I mean, you've done this. You've been in a situation before when disaster struck and you took action. Think about that time. You've done it. Pretty much everybody I ever spoke with at some point in time in their life had to make a decision to take action because something big was going on, something beyond their control, and something they saw said, oh my gosh, I've got to just do something. I've got to take action now. And you can remember when you did that. Maybe you saved somebody's life. Maybe you saved an animal. Maybe you saved a day. Maybe it wasn't that big of a thing, but to others it was huge. You've done this. And the challenge that we have is that in life, the little things are the things that nick away at us. Just like those little beetles, they bite us every day, and they can rip our lives apart because we're so worried about those little things, and then they add up. And think about the relationships. I shared with you, learn a way to build your relationships here. Think about your relationships. Think about the relationships you no longer have. Those relationships are gone because you didn't stay active in that relationship anymore. Maybe it was poor communication. Maybe it was little communication. Maybe it was no communication. We've shared with you before on the show, the number one area of lost revenue in business is due to poor communication. And the number one reason why relationships fall apart, again, due to poor communication. So what can we do about it? We don't want to lose these relationships. We don't want them to go away. Well, we know the little things like the beetles can take down the big tree. Well, the little things, if you worry about them in your life, they can destroy you. So what can you do? Well, rather than letting the little things get to you, get proactive. Think about what you can do in your life. Think of what you can do to be more resilient. So you know what? Those little things aren't going to get you down. And as you think about this, think about the people in your lives that you care about. When's the last time that you reached out to them, which was something small, and just said, hey, I'm thinking about you. I appreciate you being in my life. And imagine every time you do that, rather than beetles tearing you down, you're building relationships up. You're staying connected with people. So I'm going to challenge you to take inventory of your life right now and think about the people who haven't you talked to lately. Who could you send a note to or a text message to? Who could you call up on the phone and say, hey, I've just been thinking about you? And what little things could you do today? It doesn't have to be big, just little things. And in the exact inverse, we build relationships every day by doing this, by reaching out and staying connected. You don't have to lose the loved ones that you want in your life that are still living. You can connect with them. You can reach out to them. And if you do these little things every day, it will keep that relationship tight. You got this. Let them know you care. Doesn't have to be big. Make it little, but make it happen. And you'll have better relationships. Now go make it happen.